Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Thursday call. It's always a great time to be on the call and talk about all the good things that are happening with our company and the different people that are blowing up, the different ideas that they share on what's working for them, how people are calling them, because everybody's looking for something, and everybody wants to be able to do more. And everyone I talk to, they're looking to make more. They're looking to do more. But a lot of times you'll find people kind of stuck in the same rut. If they're not an entrepreneur, they're looking for a 9 to 5 because that's what they're used to doing. So you want to make sure that you find someone that's not just doing or ready to do the same old, same old. So with our Surge 365 business, we want people who are entrepreneurs, who are the one welcome everyone to our Thursday call. And we want to make sure through starting up and doing what we know to do that you kind of stay on track. It's really easy, to kind of veer off your track, your goals, what you want, how you want it done. So always remember to keep your mind stayed on your business and definitely be a product of your product. And of course, when it comes to flights, find the best deals, but definitely when it comes to hotels, when it comes to anything, get on your membership. Go back and forth and see what's the better price. Do what you know to do in order to not be stuck and not doing or traveling or going how you want to go. We had such a great time. Was it yesterday? Yes. No, not yet. No, Wednesday, Tuesday. My sister came to visit, and you would have thought we were in a whole other state. My father had a great time because he's just worker, worker, worker. He's not stopping. He has a construction company, so he's always on 26, driving up to 95 for a project, putting in a bid. He's just nonstop. At 86, he is nonstop. And we always laugh because he did try to retire. I think about 6 years ago when he first moved down here, he tried to retire. My sister said it was 8 months. I thought it was 2 years, but she said it was just 8 months. He was just golfing. And after 8 months, then he decided he wanted to be a caddy. And then after that, he said, forget that. I'm going back to construction, what I know. And so he's back with his construction company because that's what he knows. That's what he's familiar with. So when you meet somebody like that, you're not going to all of a sudden turn him into an entrepreneur. You're not going to all of a sudden say, oh, I think you would do great if you just share this with everybody you know, the vortex, share it with your church, how they can save money. That's not what he knows. So you run into people, and if they don't know anything about being their own boss, owning their own business, if they've never thought about being an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that they can't change because everybody can change and everybody can do different things. Everybody can learn. You can learn how to do anything. But if they don't want to, you're really wasting your time. So when you're talking to people, ask them questions. Listen to what they have to say because you can waste your time trying to talk to somebody and it's not where they want to go. So if you meet somebody and all they want to do is travel, well, that's great because we have Travmanity. You meet somebody who wants to build, well, that's great. We have Surge. So it really depends on who you're talking to. And by that, you want to listen to them because listening to them will allow you to even hear if it's something that you want to work with them on. Because that's another thing. You get to choose who you work with. And that's what's so great about our business. You get to choose. And what we have learned throughout the years that people are the way they are because of who they are. And a lot of times it's going to take a lot for them to change, and they're going to have to work at it. They're going to have, if they're not self-starters, they're going to have to really work at being a self-starter. If there's someone that constantly needs someone to call them, how's it going? How's your business? Did you make any calls? Did you meet any friends? Did you get out the house? That's going to be hard. But if you are the type of person that likes to be that type of coach and rally your team and call them and make sure everybody's doing what they're doing, and you get in the back office and you look at the numbers, and then you're calling up this person to say, hey, you're only 3 away from a bonus. Come on, let's do it. Let's make it happen. There are people in our business, I know they do that, and they do pretty much the same because you can't motivate folks. They have to want to motivate themselves. You know, I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and I said, only you can fix this, only you know. And so the same thing with the people in our company, only you can fix it. So once you get to a point where you're fixing it, where you're making it work, then you're going to be okay. But until you start doing what you know to do to fix these things, then it's nothing going to change. And when you meet people who don't want to change and they're kind of stuck in their little rut, it's best to just move on. Because if anything, they're just going to make you tired. They're just going to make you tired. So we want to make sure that you stay focused on what's going on, because there's so much going on with people in different ways and different hows. And we know we have the answer. We know we have the answer. We know we have the vortex for churches. It's been proven. You have churches coming on board, working the vortex. We know that this could work for companies. We know this can work for individuals and family members if you're already putting on your trip. But the person has to see it, have to believe it, and have to want to do it. And the only way you're going to get them to that point is to find out what they want. Because if you stay with what you want, they're not going to hear you. But you need to find out what they want and how they can achieve it through Surge 365. You have to let them know, yes, documentation beats conversation. So you can show them, you know, your checks. I know there's a lot of training on that, on showing them what you're making. And that's good. But after that, you need to let them know or show them now how they can make it. We used to have go parties. So when people first got started, you would have a go party. They would invite all their friends, and folks are still doing that, where they get them on a call or they have a little private presentation for just the 4 or 5 or 20 or however many friends they can get on the site at one time, and sign them up. But you have to help them get to where they know and understand that this business is something that they can do. And there's people out there, there's so many people out there looking for stuff and wanting to know how to do what they need to do in order to change their family's financial future. Heck, there's folks out there, and Coach used to say this, I'm quite sure some of you on the line might remember, Coach used to say that $500 a month can change somebody's life. And that's still today, and even more so, you know, where that little extra income can literally change people's lives. But you'll find folks where instead of working the travel business, instead of talking to people or introducing them to Vortex or the membership, Surge, Travelocity, they would rather just go work a 9 to 5. And that's okay. And if if they're that type of person, then let them go. But when you meet somebody who knows that, oh man, if I can work that hard for somebody else, I'm gonna work that hard for myself. And when they start saying, oh no, I could work that hard for myself, who I have to call? Look, I got a cousin, she just went on a trip last week. Let me call her. When the last time you talked to her? Oh, it's been a year or so, but I don't care. I found something that I know she could save some money on her travel. I'm calling her. So you will meet different people and they're ready to do this, you know, and when they're ready to do it, run with them. Find out how fast they want to run, what they want to do. And another way you can tell too, because we have so much going on. We have the Tuesday night call. We have the Wednesday call. We have Rick who does Thursday presentation. And there's all calls going on throughout the week. You know, those are just 3 that I mentioned. But you have folks doing presentations all the time. And then you have people in different states doing live where you can actually go and meet people. So all you have to do is want to do it. And when you meet somebody who wants to do it, at least know enough of your business to show them where they can go in the back office and find the different things that's going on in the company. Because just because you're not doing training and you're not doing presentation, the company is blowing up with presentations and training. There's folks out there who's doing it all the time because they have a goal and a dream, and that's what they want to do. We had the one lady who said she would do presentations driving to work back and forth because that's the only free time she had. Or she would listen to a presentation in the back office driving back and forth to work so she could learn what's going on. So there's all different ways on how to do different things. You just have to decide when you're working with people if this is what you want to do with them. And if you meet a runner and you don't want to run, please don't hesitate and don't let them scare you, because they're going to be like, okay, how we do this and how we do that. Say, wait a minute. You want to run faster than I want to run or that I know how to run. Let me introduce you to my upline. My upline will be able to help you run fast because I don't want to hinder you from being successful. It is okay to tell people that. Because then, for one thing, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's good. What's their number? Let me talk to them. Or have them call me, or let them, or three-way me in now. If you have a real runner, those are the kind of things they're going to say. Three-way me in now. And they're going to thank you and respect you for even telling them that, as opposed to having them get bored because they want to move faster than you want to move. And that's another great thing with our company. There are people who are running like that, and you can plug them in, and they can go ahead and on their calls or whatever and sign people up. But it's really good if you at least know how to sign people up for them, at least know how to show them how to sign people up, and then let them run. We had a guy like that. He went crazy. We just let him run because that was his MO. He just did what he did. And some of the things he did, I was like, I don't know, but he did what he did. So we let him do what he do. And it turned out to be a very, very lucrative leg. And so when you find some people who want to do it, let them go. And if you find someone who says, well, I'm kind of content with my one trip a year, but I do like the idea that I can write things off on my taxes, well, let them do that. We were on the boat yesterday, and Rick met this one lady who was traveling by herself. And Rick, hey, how's it going? Started talking to her. And before you know it, he knew all about her life story. Her husband passed away, and she was down in Charleston on vacation for a timeshare that she wished she could get out of. And just conversation, just saying hi and just talking. Exchange numbers. She wanted to know more about Surge, sent her the presentation, inviting her to the meeting tonight. And that's just how it goes. And from her, she has a cousin who just got on a cruise. So from that, you just go from one thing to the next thing to the next. But you have to have at least enough knowledge of your business to have a conversation to even bring it around like that. Because that's one thing when you're doing touristy things, and that water taxi is a touristy thing. and you start talking to people, and it's about 45 minutes. We going back and forth. I'm quite sure you've seen the pictures on Facebook. If you haven't, they're on there. Dolphins running up against the boat, and it was a great day. So I said to my sister, I said, well, this is what we call staycations. And she said, oh, no, this is a day staycation. I went, okay, yeah, this is a day, and we're staying, and we're on vacation. So, and we had a lot of fun. You know, we had a lot of fun out enjoying the weather and just doing your business, literally doing your travel business. We get to write off our boat ride, and you know, because we were with my sister talking to her about travel and what she needs to do, you get to write off this and that, and we get to write off the parking because we was downtown working our travel business. See, all of that stuff matters to certain people. You just have to let them know. You know, you just have to let them know that this is how it's done. Because if they don't know, then how can they do it? So I love it. I love our business. I think this is the fun part about it. I just feel that we're right at that beginning where folks are going to start coming in from nowhere to
I believe
do
that.
our business.
I
Yes,
believe
they're
that.
going to come in.
The lady I was talking to yesterday, excellent information, Brenda. The lady I was talking to yesterday from New York on the water taxi, she got, and her husband got roped into a timeshare and back in the 90s. And then just recently got roped into another one here in Charleston. And she said, I wanted the vacation that they was offering. And that she was down here on that vacation. I think it was like a 3-day vacation. And so she had upgraded and got even further in. She says, I don't know why I did that. This is killing me. I can't get out of it though. And the timeshare. And so when we were talking, and she had brought that up, that's why she was in Charleston from New York. And I was just telling her how having a home-based business, you are able to write off several things, including if you have a timeshare, the maintenance fees. Now we always say talk to your tax professional, but being able to write off the maintenance fees. And Laura Cross had actually put together a really good video that talks about, you know, 365 versus a timeshare. And I just actually went to it and I'm downloading it from YouTube so I can take another look at it. We actually did it with the conversations from home back in 2020. And so I was looking at the where after she did her little talk and how Mariano, Brenda, Chantel, and Glenn and I would get on and just kind of discuss whatever the topic was. And the things that we did to keep ourselves entertained in 2020. But anyhow, so I'm going to go back through it and look at some of the information, and I may send that to her. But I gave her my card, and she sent us an email. And so I sent her an email, you know, basically inviting her to tonight's presentation. By the way, we are having the presentation tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. And I gotta, you'll take a look, you'll see it when you get on tonight. A new around the world video, and it's one that we actually did as a team. Remember, we did the vacation party around the world video. I'm going to start showing that with us all on there. But anyhow, so hopefully she'll get on tonight. And but she really saw the benefits as I was talking to her about the tax benefits of being in business. And the most interesting thing is that everybody that you talk to has their own hot button. And so the purpose of the conversation is to talk and just see what that is. And the question a lot of times is, can we be comfortable enough in discussing and talking with people to find out what they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, what that thing is for them. And it may not even be search. It may be something regarding life. It may be something regarding ministry, but being comfortable enough to be able to have a conversation with a stranger. and then being able to move and shift, knowing that, you may have objectives to get to, like you're in business. But the whole idea is, what do they need? Back to you, Brenda.
Oh, I thought you was getting ready to talk for a minute. I stepped away from my phone. But yeah, that is so true. Is just being able to ask the right question, and that is really a good one. A good way to say that, Rick. Finding out what their hot button is, because you can be talking to a grandparent and they're just yeah, but let you start talking about that grandbaby, they are going to light up and they are going to be sharing what they did, what little league they playing on, what classes they got an A in. I mean, they're going to brag and dote on that grandbaby. So when you're talking to somebody, find out what their hot button is, and then when you're talking to them, listen, pay attention. Don't be trying to think of what your next statement is going to be about Surge 365. Because if you didn't hear them saying about taxes, and then you go off and you start talking about travel, well, you kind of lost them, because they were more concerned about the fact that I have to pay this maintenance fee on this townhome that I have. This
Timeshare.
what is that
It's a
called?
funny
The
because
timeshare.
when I mention the fact that having a business gives you the opportunity, a home-based business, particular in travel, an opportunity to get the write-offs. She was sitting across from me, and that's when she got up and said, "Hey, I need to get closer." And she got up and sat right down next to me. Obviously, that was her.
Yeah, because that was her hot button. That was her hot button. And it was like, oh, wait a minute now. You need to tell me some more about that. Hold on. This wind is blowing. I need to be able to hear. I need to be able to hear what you're saying. Because she probably, I don't know I don't know her taxable income and all that stuff. I'm quite sure I'll get to know it as she joins the company, because I know she will. We'll be able to talk and share about all the different things, because that was one of the things that got Laura Cross excited about coming into Surge. She did like the travel part, but she really liked the idea that she can write off all of the stuff that she's doing on her taxes. Because, man, you're getting eat up if you don't have some type of home-based business.
It's true. That's
you are
true.
really getting eat up, and especially if you're single. I'm looking at my daughter. It's like, girl, you make a lot of money, but they sure take a lot of money, because she doesn't have any type of.
Well, Glenn's a tax guy. Glenn, talk about that for a minute, because Glenn used to do taxes like that. What are some of the greatest benefits of having a home-based business, or a business in general, looking at it from a tax perspective?
Hey, let me see. I have to put my tax hat on.
Take your military hat off. Take your service hat off. Put on the tax hat.
What people don't know will definitely cost you. And I think the greatest benefit in being in business are the tax benefits.
It's true. I believe that.
Because the taxation system was set up for business owners. And people don't understand that. The business owners are the ones that are paying the least taxes. And the bigger the business, the less taxes, really. I mean, you look at, we're here in the Northwest, and you have Microsoft and Google and all of those major, and you know how many taxes they pay? They don't pay any taxes. And that is one of the, and those are the biggest earners. So where are they getting the tax money to run the government?
Wow.
From the bottom. From the bottom. And people say it's unfair because they don't understand, they don't know. You cannot afford to be ignorant in these times. When we first got started, I was a realtor. And the market was hot and the dollars were flowing in. Well, you know, realtors, you have to set your income aside for the end of the year taxes because um, the commissions that you earn are taxable at the end of the year. But if you don't have somebody taking out the taxes as you go, then you have to come with that money up front. So when Adrian and Willie introduced us to this business, I had made a ton of money in 2007. Of course, the bubble burst in 2008. And the first thing I got when the bubble burst was a letter from the IRS saying, you owe us $10,000. $10,000. So I was like, wow. But guess what? We had started our surge business and I kept my receipts and my records and all that. I mean, you got automated things now, but I'm old fashioned in some ways. I do things manually so I can understand the process. But after I finished with the deductions, the deductions that are allowed for the travel industry and the travel business, it's from my real estate agent career. Once I left the state, wheels up, those benefits stopped. So I went on vacation. If I left, whatever those expenses were, I could not write them off. But since we started the surge business, I was able to write all of that off. And after it was all said and done, we got a refund check in the mail for $125. If I'd never made a dime, I just made $10,000 and $10,125. So the tax benefits, and then they were screaming a few years back during one of the presidential elections. I think it was Mitt Romney. They were screaming because he didn't pay any taxes. They didn't understand that he doesn't have to pay taxes if he's got a business and he writes it off. Then it's only when you try to hide money that the IRS does not appreciate that, and they will put you in jail. But the tax benefits are substantial for business ownership. And if you've never made a dime, if you understood the tax laws and you kept your records so that if you get audited, you know, you're legal, then the tax benefits are one of the greatest benefits of having and especially a home-based business, because now you can write off expenses in the home, your cell phones, your office space. I mean, a portion of your utilities. It's a great benefit, and everybody should take advantage of that. But what you don't know will cost you. Back to you, Rick.
You know, I was just thinking about that, especially from the call last night. When Delby I think he made the comment of on a $500 investment, $500 to come into the business, and then $99 monthly or $120 monthly. If you're 3 and free, $20 monthly, because the $99 is waived once 3 people come on board. But on that investment, since 2004, on an annual basis since 2004, Brenda, would you say that has been worth it? When you look at the savings on travel, the tax write-offs, the access to the industry, the travel training, Brenda becoming a Commodore, huh?
Man, we wrote off vehicles, the mileage.
The mileage.
Yes.
All of that. We wrote all of that off as business expenses. I kept the mileage log, and it's just marvelous. The maintenance on the vehicle. If you got payments, you could write off the payments. The payments on your loans. It just went on and on and on.
Interest at that time, right?
Yes.
On different things, which may not be available now, but
well, the rules change every year.
I know.
They keep changing the rules. And
the medical,
absolutely, the medical. Clothing allowance. Your
clothing,
wardrobe,
which
your
dry
clothes.
cleaner,
Yes,
entertainment, food.
yes, yes.
So when I look back from 2004 to now, because we came in the industry in 2004 on a $500 investment. And then, of course, the annual fee, whatever monthly you're paying, whether it's 3 and free, $20, or even if it's $120, the return that we have received, especially when you're looking at the travel agency, Manatee, you're looking at, the Vortex, and being able to give out that Vortex link. And we've made money we get Vortex checks. And by the way, on that note, Ron's church is launching their Vortex as a fundraiser. He goes to a mega church, and they're using the Vortex as a fundraiser for their pantry and also a missions program and different things that they're doing in the church. Well, they're launching that, I believe, on the 21st of this month, and Ron's meeting today, actually, with the pastor team. And I mean, one of the things he had mentioned, because I spoke with him yesterday, is that when they're going to have on the 21st, they're going to have me come in and just do kind of a walkthrough of the Vortex, not a presentation, but basically just showing the congregation, how the Vortex works, how to sign in to get registered for your own private portal, and the whole thing about confirming the activation in the email once you put your information in, and then just taking them to the Vortex and kind of just walking them through, kind of like a test drive, walking them through the Vortex so they can see what it is, see how to book, just basic stuff. And then leaving it to Ron and the pastor team to talk about the why, not on my call. My call is going to be like maybe like 20, 30 minutes and Zoom, but leaving it to the church team to say, hey, this is an actual campaign that we're doing. Here's why we're doing it. Here's the money that we're looking to raise, and really giving that motivational push behind it. So can you see how those both come together? But getting back to, of course, the taxes and the benefit of Surge as a tool, you have the travel agency, all the travel training that we've taken. Brenda, we have another Commodore class that she's going to be taking. Anytime, Brenda, anytime. And but being a Disney agent, you know, and Glenn and Chantel, you guys actually took the with the Heritage Tour or the was it ETS? You guys are ETS agents to be able to go to the Holy Land and different things. Do you know how much money you would be spending for that training if you weren't in the travel business? In fact, you wouldn't even have access to it. But the Trav Manning, and then of course the membership, the wholesale membership benefits, and as well as lifestyle benefits, and being able to shop online, being able to get the restaurant coupons, and being able to get the gift cards and the savings, the wholesale savings. Not retail, not discount, but access to wholesale rates. That's a mind blower. And I think we have become so used to it when we see a savings of $300, $600, and we book it. And it's almost like to us anymore, oh, by the way, this is great. But when you really think about it, to have access to a $600 savings, a $300 savings, even a $50 savings is huge. Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah, it's true. You figure you don't even think about it while it's happening, but the tax write-off is what keeps your money, and like you were saying, Glenn, people don't know. And I had a great tax lady, Debbie. She sold her businesses, and now I'm working with this new young lady and trying to figure her out as we go. because things, like you say, change every year. And that's why I'm happy I do not do our taxes. I was talking to her and she says, no, you want to do this. No, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. I'm like, okay, who could get it? Okay, well, you go ahead. She says, it's better if we do it this way because this will be a better deduction for you. And so since it's her business, being a tax accountant, I let her go with it. Pay my fee, which I can write off the next year. So whatever I pay her to do my taxes the next year, we write that off because that's what I pay to do the taxes for my business. Those little things, man, come on, it just makes sense. And when you talk about clothing allowance, I learned from Debbie, if I buy something on vacation, I can write it off because it's a clothing allowance. I was on vacation. If my dry cleaning, if I put my dry cleaning before, the day before I go or the day I come back, I can write that off because the clothes that I use to travel in, I pay to have them dry cleaned. See, those little things that keep you out of trouble. If I get when I go on vacation, I get my nails done a couple days before we go.
Yes,
I
health
get to
and
write
beauty.
that off.
Health and beauty.
Yes, I get to write that off. And you know, and I do, and I make sure I do the whole
Amazing.
mani-pedi. Yeah, give me an extra cup of sparkles on there because I get to write it off. And see, that's why at the end of the year, when I'm doing my taxes, I add all that up. And I don't have any hesitation or reservations
Or
about
mental
that.
reservation.
Because I know it's, or mental reservation or hesitation, because it's a write-off. It's legal because it's taxes, and I have my own home-based business. And when we moved down here, now we have 2 offices, and it is an office. There's nothing in there other than office stuff, except that one closet I have to put clothes in because I needed the space, but that's nothing. Forget nothing. It's a regular office with desks, file cabinets, bookshelves, and so we both have one now. And we get to write off the square footage. So she asked me, she's like, what's the square footage of the 2 offices? Wrote off the square footage. She said, you might want to take some pictures and keep it in your records. And I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. And so this is when you're working with somebody who knows what they're doing, you feel at ease when you put these numbers down. If you're working with somebody who does not know about home-based business and tax write-off, you need to find yourself somebody else.
Amen,
because when you
Brenda.
tell them,
Amen.
you need to find somebody else. Because when you tell them, that's health and beauty. I went on a vacation. I wrote off my nails. It came to $110. Oh, no, I
H&R
don't think
Block
that off.
is,
Look,
H&R
I
Block
need
is
to
not
go and
gonna
find
get you
me
there.
somebody else.
They're not gonna get you there.
What's that,
I
Glenn?
know. It's like,
I said H&R Block is
Block.
not gonna get you there.
No, it's not. And so it's like, I need to find somebody else because why now I can't write it off when I used to write it off before? And you listen to a lot of the people that in office and all that stuff, they'll tell you in a minute, if I had to start all over, I would start all over as an entrepreneur. Because that entrepreneur gives you a freedom that 9 to 5 does not give you. Because with a 9 to 5, you cannot write off your utilities. You cannot write off, and then it's like, oh well, let me have a couple babies because at least I get my child something care credit whatever back. But that's at the end of the year. What happens all the way before that, So yes, everybody really should have a home-based business, some type of way, some type of how. Even my son, his wife, she has a home-based business. She has her office. And so at least they now know, with their tax person, what she can write off. It's not travel, but she can write off the travel when she goes to do lectures and presentations and all that stuff. So they at least have a little foot in the door. I think they should do travel so then that way when they travel, they get to write off even more. But at least they got the one home-based business. But anybody if they have any type of savvy about them, they would want to get into
Why
search
don't people?
because you.
Yeah, Glenn. So why don't people see that? Is it just because people don't understand how taxes work? What is the reason that people don't see the absolute necessity, not even the benefit, the necessity of having a home-based business?
Study to show yourself approved.
Mm, mm, mm.
That's the bottom line.
And you would think that people would know. Now, I understand the fact that we all are visionaries and we are out in the future and people are coming to where we are, which is good because this gives us time to prepare for them and their arrival. Because everybody on this call, you actually are a visionary out in the future and people are coming this way. That's why we say at some point that light is going to come on for the masses. Because what are the early adopters? We're just out there, and the masses are coming this way slowly but surely. And at some point, they will overtake you. Like everybody on this call, you're going to be a multi-gazillionaire because at some point, the masses are going to say, "Oh, you didn't tell me you was doing that," and they're going to
Hey,
jump.
Rick.
Just go right ahead.
Hey, Rick, I'm finding out that it's not necessarily what they know, it's what they understand.
Ooh, yes.
You know, they can know that. Yes, I can tax benefits. I had a conversation recently. We talked about the tax benefits. He's like, yeah, but I don't want to wait all year. Yeah. I'm like, you don't understand
Right.
that if you understood that your bills are now assets. Let me say that again. Your bills are now assets. I'm happy when my bills come. I'm like, yes.
It's true.
That's a tax write-off. I'm getting that back. That increases my year-to-date. I'm like, I'm not sweating bills like anybody else that doesn't have a W-2, and I say a W-2, average employee. You know, sweating bills, I got to pay out. Well, you only do that because there's no return. You don't have access to any kind of return from that. But what this does, like you said earlier, is freedom. You now have access, to a return up to 60%. That's the limit. You can write off up to 60% if you have access to 100% of your yearly write-offs. So
wow.
I heard it in a movie, 60% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Come on.
That guy.
I mean, come on. Would you want to save 60% of your year-to-date out of your year-to-date expenses, or would you rather pay out 100%? You're not even. It's a 60-40 split at that point, but the 60 is coming back to you. Why wouldn't you want access to that? And the only thing I could come up with is that you don't understand. There's a great book full of wisdom that says, "In all thy getting, get understanding." If you don't, you can know all you know, but if you don't understand what the story's telling you, if you don't understand what the textbook is telling you, if you don't understand the formula, it's gibberish. And you're just gonna turn a page.
It's the truth.
And you gotta know, and what you know, knowledge is power, but knowledge is knowing. Knowing is believing. Believing is action. And there's a result after that.
Right. You can know, but if you don't apply it, and bravo, Ed. And you also took the tax preparer's course. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And I found out that the IRS has a website where they have the tax laws all laid out, and you can type in the search home-based business tax write-offs, and it'll pull up everything recent that you're able to write off, or you could Google it. They got AI now. You can find it. You could find the answer.
Well, that's true.
To what your question is. There's nothing really hidden anymore. You just gotta go look.
Search. That's a good AI search.
It is, and it's just like you said. Yesterday I was helping my daughter with something, and they asked a question, and I was like, I don't know how you do that anymore. I haven't done taxes in such a long time. What did Rick do? He went right to AI, and AI told me exactly how to do that and what that question was asking.
Real time.
So real time, like in seconds. I was like, man, how do you do this now on the W-9? What happened to just putting numbers in? Nope. Here goes AI telling me how to calculate it and how it works. I was like, wow. So see, that's another thing, knowledge and learning something new, and knowledge and power. Knowledge is power. It hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten bigger. And with you now being able to ask, so Ed, all you have to do is go on the IRS and ask for small business deductions. Do that in the search.
Yes, ma'am. Been there forever.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just put your question in the search, or the areas you're looking for in the search, is like anything else. I mean, it's pretty standard. What are the tax benefits, or what's the tax law on? That's what I would search. What are the tax laws on a home-based business, or a 1099?
Wow.
1099 will probably get you more direct.
I'll tell you right now.
Right, yeah. Because we
Hey,
get
that's
1099. You know,
ChatGPT.
Rick is
That's
funny because
ChatGPT. Okay,
Rick will
so
go and ask ChatGPT in a
possible
minute.
write-offs for a home-based travel business. Here are the categories of deductibles and what to watch out for. So I'm just going to say home office, travel costs, meals while traveling, vehicle transportation, supplies, equipment, software, that is computers, phones, office supplies, business software, printers, furniture that is used for business. Marketing and advertising, the cost of marketing your travel business, website hosting, advertising. So the write-offs, even the monthly fees are write-off. Advertising, promotional material, trade shows, professional fees and licenses, insurance, bank, credit card fees, business insurance, business bank account fees, credit card interest for business charges, internet, phone, portion used for business, a second phone line or percentage of service, internet costs if it's used for business. This is an internet business. Let me say though, home, portion of your home used exclusively or regularly. Travel costs, if you travel overnight for business, airfare, hotel, lodging, transportation to and from the airport. Are you kidding me? This is a travel business. 50% of meals while traveling for business, or business meals with clients. Man, oh man, oh man. And then when I say car expenses, you're saying this, Glenn, mileage or actual expenses for business use, clients' meetings, running errands, tolls, parking, rental cars when required. Okay. Other important considerations. Documentation is essential. Keep receipts, travel logs, records of business use versus personal use. Avoid mixing personal expenses. Profit motive. If the IRS views your travel business activity as more of a hobby than a business, deductions may be limited. There are rules. Qualified business income deduction, QBI. If you are self-employed or own a pass-through entity, you must be eligible for 20% QBI deductions on your net income after expenses, blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is we're independent contractors with Surge 365. We're not in Surge per se. We are independent contractors working for ourselves as business owners. Back to you, Brenda.
That's why we get the 1099, because the 1099, when you're doing your taxes and you do your profit and loss, you put all that in there. The money that you made with Surge and everything else, all of that is a loss. It's a certain percentage of your cell phone and internet, a certain percentage of internet, almost 100% of our internet is for travel, not to mention your, if you have Roku or anything like that and you have a travel channel, see, all of that we can write off all you have to do is make sure you keep your records.
Wow.
See, if you have your records and they said, oh, I see you deducted $2,583 for this. It's like, oh yeah, that is my internet and I use it for this, this, and that. See, people get nervous when the IRS asks them questions because they're not doing it. They're probably doing something they'll have no business doing. But if you're doing it all upboard, upright, honest, you're not trying to scam anybody, this is what you have it written down, all they're going to do is say, oh, okay, no problem, no problem.
Brenda, check this out. So medical expenses as a business deduction. Medical costs are not deductible as a business expense unless they are part of providing healthcare coverage for yourself or employees. Health insurance premiums. If you are self-employed, you may deduct 100% of your health insurance premiums.
That's right.
Medical, dental, long-term care for your, check this out, for yourself, your spouse, and dependents.
Wow.
This
See?
is taken above the line
Rick.
on your Schedule 1, Form 1040.
Yes, hey, Rick. You know what that means for families? That's one of the biggest debts a family or individual can incur through life. And you tell me you can write that off?
I know.
There's people buried under debt, huge. I have a $6,000 bill for a doctor's visit.
Health insurance
Once I get that squared away, you know what I'm doing at the end of the year, right?
Even without itemizing.
Now there's the other one I said.
Even without itemizing.
That's right. You get the most back for itemization, but if you don't, they let you take the standard deduction.
Business deduction of medical costs only through structured plans. But even without deductible, if self-employed, even without. So as an independent contractor, you are self-employed. But you said it, Glenn. You said people don't know. And you said, Ed, they don't understand. Can you give understanding? Can you teach understanding?
And if they know and if they understand, they still have to do it.
They still have to do it.
Right. They have to apply it.
Hello, leaders. And
yes.
if you don't know all the answers, leaders, if you can point them to the person, to the resource, to the phone number, like the lady that called the other day because one of her checks did not show up, where the check is going out today because she was pointed over to the home office to make the phone call. See, this is what we're doing. When you educate yourself first, the belief has to be in us.
That's true. Right? That's true.
That all this stuff you're talking about right now, Glenn's been doing that for years. Because we have a daughter in here. Get this. She has a medication that she no longer takes. This medication was $6,000 a month. A month. And if you don't understand that you need a home-based business, but guess who has a home-based business? This young lady.
Wow.
So see, you got to be wiser. We've heard this forever. When it becomes important enough to us, we get up, we put in the time, we learn, we educate ourselves. That's why there are so many calls. That's why there's so many Zooms, because we're practicing, we're educating ourselves, and we are picking up what we need to influence wherever we're being sent. Because like yesterday, I cannot tell you all the places that we went last weekend. I'm just sitting here like, what? How does that even happen? Because people that you were not even connected to a minute ago called you up and said, hey, I'm doing do. All of us are those people. Finish. People keep saying, what's next? How about what's the part that you were supposed to complete yesterday? Did you complete that yet? See, this is a responsibility. Finish this part, and then another door will open for you. But if we're steady asking the same questions, well, why is my business not going up? Well, why am I not making? We got to go inside and check ourselves. Everybody in here has the same information, the same system, the same amount of time per day, the same businesses in our hand. If one of these are not paying me, then I need to sit myself down and say, girlfriend, what are you doing? Because I should be drawing something over here that's paying me. Why? There's causes out here I support. There are family members I support.
You know, the taxes alone is reason to join Surge 365. I just had
The taxes alone. That's right.
I just had ChatGPT, and I'm going to post it on our message page, create a tax deduction checklist that I'm going to post. And I'm looking at this, we're talking at the most, a person comes in, right? Like for the first year, what, $1,200 or $12,200 plus 500, $1,700. Okay, under $2,000. If you were saying, okay, the first year in Surge 365, $2,000, I can set aside to pay. If I'm looking at these home office deductions, the office supplies and equipment, the travel expenses, business only, the meals, 50% deductible, the vehicle expense, the advertising and marketing, the professional fees, the membership and training fees are all write-offs, the insurance, the bank credit card fees, then going into medical and health deductions, the medical and dental expenses that exceed the 7.5% of AGI, whatever that is, all of this, the 100% of your medical premiums.
And then what's so cool, you can ask AI, what's AGI?
Right.
It'll tell you exactly what that means.
Man, see, if you don't know ChatGPT, you got to learn it.
Don't forget that we are in travel. And I'm going to tell you, travel gets the highest percentage of deductions. That's what Ed was talking about, the percentages.
Ooh,
You write
adjusted
off
gross income.
Yes. If we get, because it's travel, who else gets to write off all of that? I mean, even when we play, we're working. We were deducting. That's getting any better than that. Go ahead, Rick.
Oh man, huh? Wow, you learn something new every day. So AGI is adjusted gross income. Why it matters for medical deductions. You can deduct unreimbursed medical and dental expenses on Schedule A, itemized deductions, only if they are more than 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. So if your adjusted gross income is 60,000, then 7.5% is 4,500. If you have 8,000 in qualifying medical bills, only the portion above 400 and 4,500, so 3,500 is deductible. That's crazy. Knowledge is power. Knowledge applied is power. You hear what I just said? How many people are paying that on their that don't know, if you have a home-based business, that if you have $8,000 in qualifying medical bills, if your AGI is 4,500, then only the portion of the 8,000 above the 4,500 is deductible, but you can deduct $3,500. And
Rick,
we know that folks have some high bills. Yes, go right ahead.
One of the biggest debts that people have incurred is education. Now, last time I went into it, you can deduct education if it's business related. So if you go to school for marketing, or you went to school for marketing and you're still paying, and you pick up a home-based business, which you have to market, guess what? That's related. You can now write off your tuition. On top of that, you can write off your medical. On top of that, you can write off. I mean, it's literally endless once you start digging into it. What you can write off, and like I said, 60% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Whatever you can get back, even if it's 10%, you're getting something. Why not take advantage of it?
Yes, you
Look,
can
not
deduct.
only is knowledge power, but knowledge is money.
Knowledge is money. Yes, you can deduct business-related education expenses for a home-based business. There are rules. Deductible education, Schedule C, business expense. Education is deductible if it maintains or improves skills you need in your existing business. For example, you run a travel agency and take courses on advanced travel booking platforms, social media marketing for travel, or group tour management, required by law or regulation to keep your current license or status. Example, state continuing education for professional travel certifications. These expenses can include, this is all crazy, course tuition, fees and books, online courses, webinars and seminars, travel costs if attending an out-of-town conference, airfare, lodging, 50% of your meals. Now, non-deductible education. Education is not deductible if it qualifies you for a new trade or a business, or if it meets minimum qualifications. The thing is, this is our home-based business, Search 365. It's $500 to come on board. All the licensing and travel and stuff falls for travel under the umbrella of Travmanity. Everything is included. Deductible for home-based travel business, attending a CLIA course, seminar to sharpen your cruise selling skills, taking a marketing class to improve your ability to attract clients. Not deductible, paying for a degree in hospitality management if you don't already have established business. That's free for us. All the training is included and free. Man, this is
Hey,
amazing.
Rick, you got the $500, which is tax deductible, and even the monthly payments are deductible. But you know what? I'd rather do the 3 and free and not pay it at all. Back to you, Rick.
Free is when three people come on board because they just love this benefit and they pay the $500. So your $99 is waived. So your monthly overhead is now just $20 with the SBA junior exec part. And that's tax right. That's right. You can write that off as well. I agree. Back to you, Brenda.
Hello.
Go right ahead.
So what are your goals looking like? We are over here in September. We have so many benefits here. When you understand and when you decide, because this passion has to come out of you. When I decide that I want to take my business to this level or that level, if I want to be the travel agent, if I want to be the one in the community with the vortex, if I want to go out here and help people get into this power line, which is exactly happening, I can choose to do that right now. I can reset my business today. And all is well. All is well. I'm going to sit down, and we have heard this ever since we got here for years and years ago. Where is that notebook, that tablet with that vision in it, with what I came here to do written down? Because if I can't see it, I cannot be it. And like I'm looking at this vision board right now, all that is on there. It is amazing to me when we wrote that down, and this thing is like, so that vision is like leaping off the pages. Did it all happen in one day? No, it took years. Some of it happened in a week, some of it happened in a day. But for the most part, we've been here since March the 9th, 2007. I keep telling people that. They think all this just started. No. Preparation, learning, training, helping, serving, continuing, and it all comes forth. What is written down in your notebook right now for this month in your goals? Because this is how it works. When I see it, something in me locks into that and says, okay, I'm going to speak that out loud. I'm going to post that. We all know this, but it's the understanding of, I got to do that.
Right.
Even and the belief comes when you do it. I'm telling you, you don't have to know everything, but do one of those today. Just do one of those. Get that little card and write on there 5 things that you want to achieve this month. Even if it's not search related, just put 5 things that you have wanted to complete. And you're like, you know what? This is a thing that's been sitting on me for a minute. I'm passionate about this. I said I was going to go over here and do so and so and so. Okay, put that on that little 5 things. Write it down right now, today. And then watch what happens. I remember when we came into this company with these founders, and we was fired up, and we saw what the possibilities were to help everyday people get up out of this place of stuck, of life. That thing, ooh, like come up out of that. We have a tool here. We got on the plane. First of all, the first 10 in our company, our children were the first 2. Now 3 of them are in there, right? When I look at that fires me up right there. They were our first. Paid their own money, got their own card, paid their own money. We didn't pay for that for them. They did that on their own. They were adults. Hello? When that part happened and our friends, we sat and had that go party, Deborah Smith was in the house, and Tillman's was in there. We had people from the Northwest in the house. We had the travel party. When that was done, the most important people next was our family. We got on a plane, went to Virginia, we went to Ohio, and we set this in front of our families. Does everybody family join? Maybe not, but our family said yes. Some of them are still sitting here today. You're starting to see them whenever they decide to come. This is their time and their business. They're starting to wake up and say, hey, I can use this tool to help the community. Guess what? We did that. And everything that we had written on that sheet, on that goal sheet and that vision, everything had been completed except one thing. And that's when you tell your story. This thing is real. One thing had not been completed. When we got to my sister's house in Maryland, and we was watching these people. We don't do a lot of this today, but some people do. They had that what is that thing called that you show the presentation on the
projector?
wall? Their projector. So we were just talking to her for a few minutes. We're all excited. She goes in her room, comes out with a box and gives it to us. Brand new projectors. Anybody here? I'm serious. Brand new projector. She said they just gave these to us. She said I wasn't gonna use it. I just had it in my closet. This is for you. I'm telling you what we're doing here.
Wow.
On the way back, and now we gonna catch a hop on the way back. More benefits in the military, right? Pay your little $10, get on that private jet, and we did that. We got to the airport, and they did not have anything coming back to the Pacific Northwest. And what they had on the sheet was what? Hawaii. Come on, somebody.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
They had Hawaii, right? So we looked at each other, made a call home. We got on the plane and went to Hawaii for 3 weeks, people. How many shows, how many go parties, they call it today, did we do in Hawaii? A few. How much did we run around on the island of Hawaii? Come on, somebody, with the baddest guy in town who was also in our business, who he's like the native in the land. See, this passion and this excitement, because this is what we're doing. It's what we're doing. Cindy and I would get up in the morning, right? And we would walk down the street, and nobody was there. We had a private beach, and we all over there rolling around on the beach. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is living. I'm telling you, when you get this, go enjoy your life. But the kicker on the end was when we got home and there was a $2,000 check in the mail. Is anybody here? Come on, somebody. That's what we came here for.
Hey, you know what? That just jarred something I wanted to talk about, Chantel, with the power line. So you share in a power line. If you hit the $1,000 bonus, if you hit more than $1,000 bonus in that month, does that get you two pieces of the pie?
No, I think it's just
The
one.
power line is only activated by one thousand hitting 1,000.
Yeah.
But you can still get paid on the other thousands now. There's no limits. But the power line payout is a whole different comp plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would get paid on the $1,000 bonuses that you hit, and then you have the power line,
Right.
which will come in based on you qualifying because of the bonuses. You hit a bonus
So,
and increase by 7.
man, are you finished, Glenn?
It was still over a double portion.
But look at it.
Go ahead.
On the same goal list. I'm so serious right now because we broke through in here. This is your team.
This is awesome.
This is you. Put that on your goal sheet. Power line.
That's amazing.
All we're doing, I'm just saying. Is that your desire? Put it on the sheet and watch what happens. Because I'm telling you, 2 or 3 of you in here, you're going to be on there. Because I got you on my sheet. Be up on that power line. I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
Wow. It's
That's
awesome.
what we do.
It's awesome. Man, listen, so what you want to do when you talking to people, listen to them. Because when they mention taxes, when they mention a timeshare they're stuck in, when they're mentioning just need a little extra to get through the month, where what is that? I forget that saying they would say, where your money don't reach the end of the month or something like that, they would say. It might even just take just $500. You can do this. Get your bonus. Make your $500 back and then make some more with the bonuses. Man, not to mention the write-offs. Those write-offs alone could help people save so much money. And they don't even see it. So work with people who see it. If you run into somebody who can't see it, don't waste your time because they're miscombobulated and they're messing with my energy.
Yeah, you can't give understanding. It's got to be something.
No. Yeah. So if someone doesn't perk up, look, or change their seat to get closer to hear what you're saying, don't waste your time. It's like, hello, if you want, here's a card. If you go on the Vortex, that you can save money on travel. And if they go on, great. If they don't, great. But man, you got
you know what,
this is
Brenda?
awesome.
Our team is just so awesome. And everything with everyone bringing something to the table. I mean, even what we discussed on this call today, and then Rick goes to AI and looks it up and confirmation.
Oh, wait till I post what I'm printing out now.
Confirmation. Exactly what you know. We're not telling you what we heard. We're telling you what we know.
I'm going to put this on our message because I've got
telling you what we know.
Everything I said, I'm gonna put it on our message thing.
Love it.
We are, and the thing about it is, people are starting to think about, oh yeah, well my tax return come next year, so why not? Everybody waits till January. Man, when information comes, put it out there, because you'll be surprised how many people would say, "What? I get to write by," and some people who even in our business does not know this.
They don't.
So yeah, all these years they have not been taking that because they figure, this is travel, so I should only deduct things that relate to travel. No, don't leave the money on the table.
Don't leave the money on the table.
The whole tax system
that medical
was created
is huge
to help you save money. Yes.
That
you know what?
Huge. Wow.
People want what we got, what we know. They're starting to send their phone numbers over. On the call the other night, they're trying to connect. Is Chantel on there? I want to send her my phone number. They're not even on our team.
Right. That's right. That's right. Because we talk about everything. We talk and we share everything. And what happens is people don't want to talk about something that they don't feel they're an expert at. Well, you don't have to be an expert at it. If you know a little bit, go research and find out more. That's why I always say, man, learn something new and share it. Because the more things you learn new, the more you'll share it. It's nothing like learning something new. When you learn new, you're going to learn more and more and more and more. When you open a door, Rick's been on this Hebrew Egyptian. He's been learning more and more and more about that. So whatever you want to know, and you know what'll happen? We'll be somewhere, and there'll be somebody, and Rick will start a conversation. It will go to that, and that person will be amazed at how much information he knows about that.
About what?
And they've gone to school for it. So
what's that?
Learn. No, I'm talking about you with the Hebrew Christian and all that stuff you've been watching.
Biblical Hebrew.
The biblical Hebrew, all the stuff you've been just watching lately, and learning, because you just store all that information, and it makes for great conversation, and you have no idea where you're going to be and who you're going to be talking to. So learn something new every day. I believe that. And if you do that, you're going to dive into more and more and learn what you like. You know, if you don't like learning about why flowers grow and why the dirt is this way and the soil is here and there, well, don't learn that. Learn something else. Learn what you like, what you're interested in. And I'm talking about soil because I've been getting into soil lately, but plants.
Like yesterday, Brenda, did you see us at the beautiful gardens in Tacoma yesterday?
No, I haven't been on Facebook. I haven't seen that.
Oh my goodness, you will see, because I put a lot of it out there this morning. But go experience life. This is what I'm saying. Glenn, I'm telling you, people are like, you guys are going everywhere. Every time I look here somewhere, they're like, what in the world is happening? And so we're just living our life. And we stopped in a place yesterday that Adrian took us to. Oh, wait till you see those pictures. I don't know if I sent you that, Rick. But this food in this place, oh my goodness. And it's a small little restaurant, and we were coming from that direction. So we decided to stop in there and take some time. And on the way from that, we wound up going to drive down by Point Ruston, one of my favorite places over here. It is just gorgeous. And we go down to Point Defiance because we wanted to look at those roses. Good thing, because now
I saw that. Yeah.
Man, did you see that?
Yeah.
And we're driving by the water. We're just doing real life. Ed Taylor has talked about the experience of the Pacific Northwest. Do that. Post your pictures. Let people see what you're doing. They're interested. People are coming up to us in church. I'm telling you, they're coming up to us in church talking about, hey, Facebook friend, I'm serious. I'm like, this is getting wild.
But I'll tell you, we're on the phone setting appointments while we're doing that.
But if you don't post it, don't know you're in business. They think you have taken your travel hat down. They think you're not increasing in travel. You're not having any fun anymore. You're not pointing anybody over here because you have posted nothing. You have to post at least twice a month. It's more than that, but at least twice a month. They have to. I'm just real life. Not just surge. I'm in my kitchen. I'm in here talking to people about vitamins because this is what we do. We take supplements, baby, because we have to, the vision is healthy, wealthy generations. Okay, well, I got to be that person, right? So I'm getting up here. I'm showing you how I'm taking my supplements. I'm showing you that we're drinking our water. I'm just talking about real life.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to invite the people in. If you're taking a walk, you see that people talking about, oh, I see her feet. They come up to me in church talking about, you are so funny. I see you walking, and some days I don't want you to see. I just let you see my feet, but I'm walking. Talking about real life here.
It's true.
But let them see you living, doing something in movement. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Yeah. That's right. Anybody else?
Yes, this is Darlene.
Wow.
I just wanted to say something about AI. I had an experience with Xfinity because since I moved in here, they had to hook me up, And anyway, they sent me a request. What do you call that? A review email. Well, in the meantime, I checked my account. They had sent me something as a reminder. And the reminder had the amount that I was supposed to pay that was different than the amount that I saw on my account when I looked it up. So I called. And of course, you call, you get people you can barely understand. So he was trying to
Yes.
sell me something else. So I'm explaining to him, and he said, and so I asked him, I said, is there someone else I could speak to? Because I was trying to get my point across. I asked him, is there someone else I could talk to? This guy says, F you. He said the word, he said F you and hung up the phone. Now, I was
Oh,
hot. I was hot.
oh
So
yeah.
I'm looking for this email they sent me that I was supposed to respond back to the review because I couldn't find anywhere else that I could go to complain at anyone. So I typed in the email what I wanted to say, my complaint and all this stuff. And I said, let me put this through AI so I can see if it's kind of professional. Maybe they can clean it up a little bit because I was rattling, I was going off. And so I put it in
I know you
AI,
was.
and AI says, they says, you have made a powerful response, but they told me also that, it explained to me the AI apologizing that I had went through something like that, because I said exactly what the guy
Wow.
had said. But anyway, it comes
Right.
back. And then they said that I had done a powerful response. And then they said you should call, you should go to report him to the Better Business Bureau, make your complaint and all that. Then it said what really got me, AI says, if you need assistance with, we can create your complaint and submit it for you to the Better Business Bureau. Now, AI is gonna do the complaint for me, type it up where it's really professional. And I was like, look at this. All I did was put in
Mhm.
there what I responded to the email, and it took it even
Mhm.
further. It cleaned it up. It said it would file and told me where I could file if I needed assistance. It gave me where I could go back through there and get assistance and all that stuff. So people can't tell me they can't do nothing. You can go through AI and
Right.
do anything you want to do. Because when
Right.
they
And
are
the knowledge is right there for them.
yes, it's right there. And then when
Mhm.
they said that they would do the file, the complaint and everything for me through a to the Better, I said, no, look at here. They were just gonna take it on. But I said, this is AI, you can go to AI and get anything you want. So I don't know what people be
Anything.
talking about. I can't do this and I can't do that. If you can't type a question in the AI, you really need help. Back to you.
Like
Right.
Ed
And
said,
what's
it's
so what's so
understanding.
it's understanding. And even for my sister, she was like, AI, no, no, no. Now she's an admin for a big company. And she had no idea. So Rick started explaining it to her. And she said, oh, wait a minute. What is it again? What is it again? I write emails. And Rick said, well, you want to make them sound blah, blah, blah. So she was, and that was knowledge that she got because she was willing to hear about it. But it's
Hmm.
amazing how much people don't know. And just
Hmm.
like Glenn said, people are asking for their phone numbers on all these different calls because the knowledge that's coming out of their mouth.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
people want to know. People want to know. It's like, tell me, please tell me so I could do this and I could do that. So yeah,
And
it's powerful.
the most important thing is we run with the people that desire to know. Anybody else, don't
Yes,
try to bring them. You can
right.
only run with the
Well, they're not
people
going to come.
because they're not going to
Yeah,
come. No matter what you say, no matter what
they're
you
not.
do, you're
Yeah.
looking for the folks. And like Chantel was saying, post on, make yourself so that people can actually see you, that you're not
Mhm.
invisible.
Hmm.
And the
Mhm.
people that
Mhm.
can
Mhm.
see you are the ones you run with. Those who cannot see you, let them sit where they sit, because there's nothing you can do. And but there's a whole bunch of people that are starting to get understanding, and so make sure that you're preparing for those people.
Yes,
And
yes.
even in this short little period,
Mhm.
I just posted on our website, on our message page, all the information that we talked about for the taxes today. Go through it, read through it, understand it, in a general sense, or if you want to be specific like that, in a specific sense. But see how quickly knowledge comes. And like what Darlene was saying, if you chatgpt.com, that is my life, Darlene. You know,
It is. And then they have Gemini. They have a lot of them out there now.
Right, that Gemini, yes.
But yeah, use
Yes,
it.
they do.
My
Back to you.
sister
Yeah, that's right.
Charmaine sent that to us when this stuff first started coming out. And she's an author. And she sat down, and I kid you not, she said, I went in there and I just put, my ideas of what I was doing. And the book was written overnight. And it was gorgeous. And she's a great author. But when she sent me that book, I said, wow. And see, this is the power and understanding. Glenn sent me something this morning about how they're going to be moving these cars with these robots. And so people need what we have. Okay, we've been talking about the robots, and I don't even think we had any idea how huge this thing was going to be. We had no idea.
Right.
No idea.
We're in it right now. And it's not to fear it. Mm-hmm. It's to empower us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Charles Nicholson was talking about how they have the technology now that they're eliminating cashiers.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put that technology, when you put it in your card, it's going to charge your card, and it won't be any checkout. You pay as you go pretty much. But then they had that robot. Those robots are coming up under the car, picking the car up, taking it, parking it with no error, and they can put them right together because no driver has to get in. It's going to eliminate anybody working in the parking garage industry. I mean,
how about the port of Tacoma, and that's
all of
that's
it, everything.
Big money.
They're all coming. We have a solution.
Yeah,
we have a solution. People need to make a decision and get busy with this.
That's true.
And I want to mention the energy that was in that call last night. If you have been following, if you don't follow some of the people, well, follow them on Facebook. Dr. Cynthia Lyde, Pastor Carmen Haywood, best friends. They're both in ministry, right? Her excitement was so serious, but all she was talking about was, now mind you, Dr. Lyde came in first, and all she did, her friend called her up and said, hey, I want to take a cruise. And Dr. Lyde said, well, so. This is what we're doing. This is what we own, and you can own it, and you can do. And she said, I'm not interested in that right now. I just want to take my cruise, which she did. On her way back, she got a revelation that said, you need to go help her build that. Those two sisters took off running. Get this. Put on the same jackets. Went up the same level. Both of the directors were promoted at the same time because the decisions they made to build kingdom wealth. And she was just sharing, I'm traveling everywhere. So I got checks coming from travel. I got checks coming over here on the power line. I got checks coming from the travel side of the business. And I have checks coming in from the community. She said, we are always winning in here. So she was so fired up, but she got a person running with her.
And did you want to share your Vortex testimony on your team?
I am absolutely fired up about Victoria Brown, who her auntie, who will always support her, went in there and she found her hotel and saved $100. Well, guess what? Victoria, who has been with us for maybe all of 2 weeks, she's about to receive her first Vortex payout check. How exciting is that for a person that's brand new? Let me tell you about Victoria. Victoria, when she locks in. I'm learning about her. By Glenn getting on that cruise to go over here to help help a cousin. Little did we know where this was going by helping this cousin, and this lady and her fiance got an opportunity to hear a couple of words of what Glenn was sharing on that cruise.
Wow.
And the fiance locked into Glenn. He said, I want to know more about that. Now, this is the fiance talking.
Wow. So
Glenn says, I'm going to give Victoria Chantel's number to Victoria. Victoria calls me up about a week later. And I said, I just had small talk with her. I didn't get into anything about the business. It's all about her. I was so excited about her engagement. The pictures I had seen, and everything was about Victoria. Okay. Couple of days later, Victoria called up. She says, I want to learn a little bit more about your company. Is there more information that I can get involved with? Is there a Zoom? I said, yes, it is. We invited Victoria on a Zoom. From that first Zoom, she has not missed one Zoom in this company. Not one. Even the training that Charles Nicholson does on Saturday mornings, she's on there. Some days I'm not on there. She's on everything. She hits me up yesterday, and I was on my way. I had about 5 more minutes to get that Zoom. I get a message from Victoria. The Zoom is starting. I just started smiling. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Come on. That's what he's talking about. Who is that person?
Who is that person?
We're all the leaders. Sometimes the leader needs encouragement.
She lives in New York. Yeah, she lives in New York.
And he lives in around the corner from my sister. Is anybody here? In Virginia. Do you feel something moving here?
Wow.
She went to the meeting, the surge meeting in New York. She said it's right around the corner from where she lives. And they put her off right at the front door. And when she came, she said, next week, she said, I got everything I need. She said, I'm getting started next week. That's all it was. That was her desire. Okay.
And that triggered, that triggered power line.
Come on. I just want to see somebody here on this power line, because I'm telling you what, when you see that check, I mean, this is like the company of standards is what I call it. We are so far ahead of everybody, and that Delby has been so excited because that's his baby, and he's talking about you're in the power line, but none of us was understanding that the power line had already started 3 months prior, and he kept saying, stay on that power line, and we're like, okay, where's the power line? We thought we were putting people. No, the power line was growing because when you lock your spot by having both of your sites active, you got to keep those sites up. People are in a straight line being positioned under you from all across the country, all across the nations. Ed said he saw the numbers going. I was in there a couple of weeks. I saw 20 people come in the power line. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? People, lock your spot and then team builder.
That's it.
You got, if that's your desire, I'm so serious. 2 of you in our team, all you need is 3. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't be sleeping. See, that's me. That's my passion. I wouldn't be sleeping because you're not getting my money. I'm just saying. I'm going to put in the work, and I'm going to be like, knock, knock, knock. Hello, sis. My family know me well. My friends, they talking about, here she come. Darlene Seal can tell you. Knock, knock, knock. I need some help, Auntie. Auntie, I need some help. This is what we're doing. We're touching the community. We're doing all this. We're building a legacy. Did my auntie show up and sign up? Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Because I asked her. That's what we're talking about. And you watch what happens when you put that out there. Can you come along and support me for what we're doing to help this community over here, help this cause over here? And I'm telling you, people will show up and help you. And it's helping them too. Back to you, Rick and Brenda, but somebody need to get on this power line.
What? Fall begins on Monday, and fall is harvest time.
Harvest time.
All righty. Anybody else? Well, like Rick said, we're going to do the presentation this evening. Invite folks so they can see. You guys know that we are the most trusted travel team in Surge 365. We are winners. Go out and learn something new. Play around with AI. Ask them to tell you a joke. Tell them to give you a story about an alligator and a cat. It does all of that, along with all the serious stuff. It'll do fun stuff also. And so just have a great day and know that we're going to do this. We are going to make it happen. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the call tonight, and definitely on all the beaches and all the mountains around the world. Okay, bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Next day. Enjoy it.
Bye.
Enjoy your day.